Yesterday we were discussing about the concept of inheritance. Did I start that inheritance concept? I did not start. Okay. Then what is that we were discussing about? Class and types of classes. I'm sorry. Class encapsulation. And I was giving you one example, I think. Okay. So class is a unit structure which will have attributes plus functional components. Okay. All these works together in order to perform a business goal, in order to achieve some business goal. You provide some input to the class, you get some output out of the class finally, correct? And I was explaining about one example, like a bank example. Bank as a class, whole bank as a class. Inside bank we have multiple departments: banking process and insurance department, loan department, verification department. So each department you consider as one class. Entire bank is an application. Inside that you have banking class, you have loans class, and you have insurance class. Each class will take specific input and process it and generate the specific output, correct? Whereas there is a verification department. The verification department that we were discussing about, we understood one thing, that the verification department can perform the task of verification. That may be for bank accounts, that may be for insurance policy processing system for insurance department, or that may be for loan processing for loans department. For all of these three departments, insurance department can be commonly accessed. From all these three departments, insurance department can be commonly accessible, correct? Yes or no? General, I'm sorry, not insurance, verification department. For all these three departments, verification department can be commonly accessible. That's what we were discussing, correct? Okay, this commonly you keep it aside for some time, but we wanted to access the functionalities of verification department when the loan is getting processed, when insurance policy is getting processed, correct? So now there is a need of accessing the functionalities from one department to another department. That's what each department we call it as a class, correct? So how to achieve this? This can be achieved with the concept of inheritance. What is the concept? Inheritance. The inheritance concept has been introduced for the purpose of accessing the functionalities or attributes and functionalities and attributes from one class to another class, from one class to another class. So you have a need in the reality, right? In the reality, verification department to be accessible commonly to loan department, insurance department, banking departments. All these departments, they wanted to commonly access. Each department is one class, means we have a need of accessing the details of one class into another class. Same way, if you want to access the attributes and functional components of one class into another class, then that can be achieved with the concept of inheritance. Everyone clear? So if you consider inheritance, minimum how many classes will get involved in this concept? Minimum how many classes will be there? Minimum two. Minimum two classes, because when you have two classes, then only one class can access the functional features from another class, correct? So two classes are involved. For example, verification class. What is that? Just simply I'm writing verification class has something inside it, some attributes and functionalities. Verify functionality. Okay, that is there. Verify functionality is there. Now this verify functionality, I'm not writing entire functionality and all. Okay, check bank. What else it can do? It can do everything, like checking the address, okay, checking the salary details and some other details like that. Okay, so I'll write down simply like verify salary, address and other details, something like this. I'm going to write just for your information. Now the verification class to be accessible to banking class, so I'll create banking class. I'm not writing any syntaxes here. Don't worry about it. In PEGA, we don't do all this. Just for your better understanding, I'm doing it on Notepad. That's it. So this is a class. What is it going to process? Banking operations. Banking operations. Okay, are going to be processed. Banking class wanted to access verification class and its features. That can be possible by using inheritance. Then the design should be like this. You need to make a relation between these two. Banking class derives. What is that? Derives, or you can say inherits from where? Verification class. We never write a code like this in PEGA. I am just typing this on Notepad just to explain your concept. Okay. Banking class inherits from verification class. What does this statement mean? General meaning in reality, in the real world, in our family, what is the meaning of inheritance is? It is succession. Succession means, yeah, spanning, like parents, children will have after some years children, again after some years children. This family succession is there, right? This is called inheritance. Usually in the inheritance, parent and child gets involved. So here banking class inherits. I have been inherited from my parents. Okay, banking class inherits. I am child now. I've been inherited, right? So I'm a child. So banking class inherits from verification class, meaning that banking class is a child class, whereas verification class is a parent class. So inheritance is the concept of making or establishing relation between two classes, where one class is going to act as parent, the other one is going to act as child. Everyone clear? Now, child class can access the functionalities of the parent class, but not vice versa. But not vice versa. What does it mean? Child class can access the functionalities from parent, but parent cannot access the functionalities of child. Understand? Everyone clear with this? This is the concept of technical aspects. In general, not only PEGA, anywhere, wherever you go in this world, any technology, object-oriented programming concept. So inheritance is establishing relation between two classes, where a class can inherit from another class. These two classes, one of these two classes is going to be parent class, another one is child class. Child class inherits from the parent. When you establish this type of relation, a child class can access the functionalities of the parent class. A child class can access the functionalities of parent class, but not vice versa. Means parent cannot access children. If you're going to design like this, I have another class. What is that? Loan class, right? Loan class. Loan class also derives from verification, yes or no? For loan also, what is the parent class? Verification only, correct? So verification class is going to be the parent of banking class, all this loan operations. Similarly, it is going to do process loan operations. Similarly, if you're going to create insurance class also parent class is verification class. So the class at higher level contains common functionalities of different classes. Yes or no? Common functionalities of different. So for banking, I need verification facility. For loan, I need verification facility. For insurance policy processing, I need certain verification facility. Commonly, all of these are looking for verification functional components. I placed verification as a separate class and made it as a parent to all children. All children can access whenever it is required. Understand? Common functionality classes will be there at the higher level. Will be there at the higher level. Let me explain you this by a paint diagram. Sorry. Okay, here you go now. This is, for your information, this is verification. And what about this one? Banking. This is loans. This is insurance. These three are now independently existing. These three are at present, the diagrammatically, when you see, these three are independent. How do I make the relation? There in the notepad, I have written inherits, derives, and all. Here to make the relation, what is the easier way? I have to connect it. I have to, which is a higher level? This is higher level, tree structure. Okay, higher level. So higher level will be accessible to below level. So banking can access verification, loan can access verification, insurance can access verification. This line here, connector here, is inheritance relation between the classes. Understand everyone clear so far? Online resources. Every one of you clear? Give me a minute. I am going to change the network connection. Just you may not be able to hear me for a while of 15 to 20 seconds. Hold up. I'm changing it. I changed it now. Am I audible, everyone? Respond on the charting window.
Yes.
Audible, right? Okay. Thank you so much. This is a good. This is having good strength. Okay. Here you go now. My charging is going to be more. Okay. Here you go now. See, whenever you are going to design your structure for all functionalities, placing functionalities, obviously you created application. Inside application, you have to create classes. Inside
Yes,
classes,
sorry.
you have to create
In
functionalities.
navigation and your voice is not recorded.
I am not navigating anything. Please hold on. Let me know going forward. Now it should be fine for everyone. See, I'm not navigating anything. Whenever you create new application, you create an application setup, and then inside that you create classes, inside that you create functionalities. So you're not going to create only one single class for your entire business operations. So you segregate to structure your business in a proper way, like how you structure it in physically, the same way you're going to do in the software also. So where you are going to create functionalities into n number of different classes, there will be a need of accessing the functionalities of one class into another class. That need can be fulfilled with the concept of inheritance. Everyone clear so far about inheritance? I'll come to PEGA inheritance after some time. These are all generic things. Next topic, here we are going to discuss about, as I already told you, types of classes. What is that? Types of classes. Where is that? Types of classes. I told you what is a class. Now I am going to discuss about types of classes. Control and this is also a generic concept. It is not only in PEGA. Everywhere it is there. There are two types of classes. One is concrete class. Another one is abstract class. Before I explain about this, see whether it is abstract or concrete, a class is a class. I told you about class definition, right? Class is a unit structure having attributes for functionalities. When you execute it, it will take some input, generate some output by processing, correct? So you execute a class and provide some input, it will process it and generate some output, class generally. Then what is a concrete class and what is an abstract class? I'm going to explain you. You might be knowing about this before itself, many of you. Concrete class, listen to me carefully. You are executing a class, providing some input, it is getting processed, finally output is generating, correct? Loan is a class. What are the inputs that you need to provide for loan class? Details about the customer, the necessary documents, everything you provided, processing is being done. What is the output for this? Loan amount. Loan amount you are going to get disbursed, added into your account, credited into your account. That could be the final possible output in a happy path. Everything is meeting the criteria. Okay, understand? So now you are executing the class and processing the loan, meaning that a transaction has been made. Meaning what? Transaction. What is the transaction? Loan transaction. When you make a transaction, should there be a transaction ID? Yes or no? Yes or no? Transaction ID should be there, right? How many departments I was mentioning? Verification department, banking department, loan department, insurance department. All these are four different classes. The three departments, banking, loan, insurance. These are the three places where transaction can be initiated. Meaning that I want to open a bank account or I wanted to deposit money. It will go this particular money deposit transaction. will go into which department? Banking or loan or insurance? Banking department. I have to start my transaction processing by initiating it in the banking class. Everyone following? I am not accessing anything in UI. Are you able to imagine? If I want to start a banking transaction, any type of transaction related to banking, in which class that should be initiated? Banking class. Suppose if I want loan transaction should be initiated in loan class. Can I initiate loan transaction in insurance class? Is that the right way of structuring your business? No, right? So for every specific transaction, there is a specific class in which it should be initiated. Correct? For banking, banking class. Insurance, insurance class. Loan, loan class. That is the triggering point. The department will collect the documents. You go and submit loan documents to loan department. Suppose you go and submit loan related documents to insurance. What do they say? We cannot initialize. Please reach out to loan department. They are available there. Only that department is authorized to start a transaction of loan. You have all functionalities there. Correct? You should know where to submit your documents. Minimum thing. Now, a class in which transaction gets initiated. See, in this class, you have attributes plus functionalities will be there. Attributes will be there plus functionalities will be there plus transaction gets initiated plus ID will be there. Transaction ID will be there. It gets processed. It gets completed. Loan department, if you submit the document, starting from loan department, it may go through so many other departments, finally come back to loan department and gets closed. Yes or no? In a happy path. Yes or no? That's what I have written here. So you don't need to bother even about this processing and completed and all. Generally, okay, that's okay. Attributes will be there, functionalities will be there in a class that you know. Specifically, what is additional things that you have in concrete class? Transaction gets initiated. When you initiate, you need transaction ID or not? How do you recognize each individual transaction? By loan number, by account number, by withdraw transaction ID. Ultimately, all other transaction IDs. Now, abstract class. A class is a class, right? Abstract or concrete, no matter. Class will have attributes plus functionalities. So abstract class will have attributes plus functionalities. Concrete class also will have attributes plus functionalities. What is the meaning of abstract? Generally, in general, in the real life, probably you are a college pass out, right? You would have done a project in the last year, correct? So before you start working on the project entirely and submit, at the very beginning of the project, you would have submitted project abstract. What does it mean?
Not the regular one.
The high level details about it, correct? Generally speaking, that may not be true all the time, but still. See, abstract class has attributes plus functionalities, okay. But abstract class is the one where transaction cannot be initialized. What is that? Cannot be initialized. It cannot be initiated. Cannot be initiated. What is the meaning of cannot be initiated? That cannot be a triggering point of your transaction. That cannot be a triggering point of your transaction, but it can supply some of the tasks which are needed during the processing of a transaction. I'm talking about in the real world. It can supply some of the functional needs that are needed in order to process your transaction. Same example you go. Banking, insurance, loan, and verification. Suppose in the verification department, can I initiate loan transaction? Can we initiate loan transaction in verification department? Can we initiate a banking transaction in verification department? Can we initiate an insurance transaction in verification department? For all this, the answer is no, you cannot. Is that the right way of designing business? Suppose you facilitated verification department, also you provided authorization to initiate loan, bank transactions, something like that. Is that the right way of designing a business? No. But still you need verification as a separate department, yes or no? You need verification. Verification department you need separately. Means you need a separate class for verification. But you do not want that class to have any authorization to initialize your business transaction, initiate your business transaction. You need certain classes in your business to be set up. You need some classes to have the ability or capability to initialize business transaction. Classes like banking, loan, insurance, they should have the capability of initiating business transaction. You need certain classes like verification, where you do not want this class to initiate business transaction. You do not want to give the ability or the capability to initiate your business transaction, but still you need it as a separate class or not? You need it. So in a real business, you need some classes where the classes should have the capability to initiate business transaction, and you need some classes, the classes to not to have any capability of initiating business transaction. Now you have to set up the structure like this. How can you achieve this? That's why technology developers have come up with two types of classes. One is concrete class, another one is abstract class. Concrete, given a requirement, you will be creating a class. Which type of class you want to create? If as per the requirement, if the class is responsible for initiating business transaction, then you create it as a concrete class. As per the requirement, if the class should not have any capability of initiating business transaction, then you create it as an abstract class. Understand everyone what is an abstract class, what is a concrete class? Online resources. See, technology always follows real world. Understand everyone clear? See, everything that you wish to do in the reality, the same you replicate in the technology, the same you implement by using technology. Technology is not going to do any miracles, for your information. If you want to understand the technology to its best, you always think about the real world, how it has to be done. That need has to be fulfilled by the technology. That's it, nothing beyond that. So in the reality, when I am going to set up my physical structure of overall banking to have different departments, I need to set up some departments as the departments which have the capability of initiating business transactions. I want to set up some departments which should not have any ability to initiate business transaction. Coming to technology, the same setup you are doing. Entire business you called it as an application. Each department you are calling it as a class. In each department, some processing will be there, some functional components will be there. So when you define classes, you need now some classes to be defined as having the ability to initiate business transaction. Some classes you need not having the ability to initiate business transaction. Then how do you achieve it? That's why you come up with two types. One is concrete, which has the ability to initiate business transaction. One is abstract, which doesn't have any ability to initiate business transaction. Make sense so far? Everyone clear? Online resources, respond on the charting window quickly. Everyone should respond. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's proceed forward now. Now you have two types of classes. You understand the reason why two types of classes are there. If I ask you a definition, what is concrete class? Concrete class is the place where we initiate business transaction. Abstract class is the one where we cannot initiate business transaction. The question is not that. The main question is, why do you have two types of classes in technology? Why not only one? Why do you have two types of classes? That is the question. You should be able to respond for this question if you understand the technology at its best. Why do you need concrete classes in technology?
For better performance.
నేను ఎక్కడైనా performance అని చెప్పానా మీకు? Did I say anytime performance? Can you prove that concrete classes have better performance than abstract classes? Don't go for something which is by your imagination. Okay. Did I say anytime concrete class will have better performance than abstract? It is not there anywhere in the textbooks. I never read it during my BTech.
I think concrete class is the parent class.
It's not about main or sub. Tell me about this. Whatever we have discussed, respond about the same. That's it. Pretty much fair enough. If you want business transactions to be initiated in your business, then what do you need? Concrete classes. See, learning in a proper way is very, very important. Okay. It's not you read. What is inheritance? Inheritance is acquiring the properties of parent class into child class. This is what you understand to learn, correct? But if we ask you to elaboratively explain it, you will not be able to elaborate. The reason being, people are studying only for marks. They are not studying to understand the subject in depth. That's the problem. Problem is not with you. The way how you are following is wrong. So try to understand the technology elaboratively, in depth, in reality. That's where you will be differentiated from others. Okay. So concrete class, why do we need concrete class in the technology? We need concrete class every time whenever we wanted to initiate the business transactions. And why do you need abstract class in the technology? Yes, you need to explain this way. See, in a business transaction, there are certain needs where we need to create classes, but we do not want the classes to have the ability to initialize business transaction. In such situations, we set up that class as an abstract class. Verification department I am setting up. What if I give the ability to create business transaction? Is that the right way of designing your business structure? That's a wrong way. How you are setting up in the reality, the same way your technology should adhere, correct? So that's the reason why you have the existence of abstract classes in the reality. Understand everyone clear? In the technology. Why do you need abstract classes in technology? The reason is, definitely in the real business, there are certain departments which should not have any capability of initiating business transaction, but they participate in the processing, like verification department. The same I ought to replicate in the technology. Then how do I get it? I create it as an abstract class. But remember one thing, both the classes have attributes, both the classes have functionalities, both are participating during transaction processing, correct? But where is the exact difference? Initiating ability, triggering point. Triggering point is concrete. That ability is not there for abstract. Understand? Everyone clear? So you can even think about other examples also. See, there are two different people. Okay. One is a manager and another one is employee. Otherwise, CEO. CEO is there, and there is another person, another employee. So employee will have certain limitations. He will participate in the work or not, but he will have certain limitations. CEO also participate in work, but he have some other abilities than employee, correct? CEO can process paying salary to employees. Can an employee do the same task? So if you're creating employee, he should not have that ability of initiating, sending money to others in the organization, correct? Then the employee is going to be abstract, CEO is going to be concrete with the ability to initialize salary processing system. He can initialize it, but no one can do that. Understand? So like this is about types of classes. The examples are the topic, the content that I have delivered is not only related to PEGA. This is universal. So far we discussed about class, types of classes, inheritance. But all this simply I did not tell you what is. I told you why we need inheritance, why we need abstract class, why we need concrete class, why do we need class at all. First of all, why do we need class? You want to set up something, definitely you need a class for processing purpose. Okay, these are the points which are universal concepts. Everyone clear so far? Now, what levels are abstract? Generally, it is not must be. Generally, what are the levels? You have parent child, right? One more point I'll tell you. I'll tell you generally. Class A, class B, inheritance concept. Class B inherits from class A. This is what I have written. Further, I am writing class C inherits from class B. Inherits from class B. Now, class B is child of class A, whereas class C is child of class B. Now, just listen to me. Class B can access the functionalities of class A. Class C can access the functionalities of class B. Here, class C is said to be grandchild. Class C is said to be grandchild. A grandchild can access the functionalities of its parent as well as parent of parent. Understand everyone? This point additionally you have to remember. See, a grandson can access the property from father as well as grandfather, father's father, father's father. In India, I am talking about how it works. Succession, right? higher level to all the lower levels accessibility will be there, right? The same is a concept in the technology. So class D inherits from class C means class D can access class C functionalities, class B functionalities, class C. Chain up to the chain linking is there, accessibility will be there. Remember this. So next we are going to talk about the inheritance concept. Okay. Classes, inheritance, all this I told you, right? This is how you create. Now, see, whenever you are going to create classes, what are the different levels? So I told you the structure right here. Higher level, below level, like this. Below to below, there can be another levels, correct? Grandchild like that. Which level out of this is going to be abstract? Which level out of this is going to be concrete? Just this is an usual design. Okay, usual design. I'm not saying that this has to be mandatorily available like this. It is possible to have changes, but if you look at the diagram, can you tell me what are the abstract levels and what are the concrete levels?
Verification
Verification
is
is
the
abstract,
concrete level.
concrete level.
Banking,
See,
loans,
we
and
already
insurance
discussed.
are abstract.
Correct, correct. Banking, loans, and insurance are concrete. Verification is abstract. Understand? We already discussed. If you want to access the functionalities of a class, usually you place the class at the higher level into another one. I want to access the functionalities of one class into another class. The class which is parent at a higher level, child at lower level. I am telling usually parents are abstract. Children are concrete. Remember this, this is not mandatory that you have to design this way only. Child can be concrete, sorry, child can be abstract, parent can be concrete. Possibility is there if you speak about it practically. Practically it is possible. It is possible to define the structure like that, but that it is just 1% need maybe in the business sometime. You just leave about it. Remember one thing, just as a thumb rule, usually higher level is abstract, lower level is concrete. Usually it is always a thumb rule. The level where the transactions gets initiated all are concrete. Exact level where transaction is getting initiated all are concrete. I'll tell you another example. Let's say there is a company, car manufacturer. Okay, car manufacturing company is there. Let's say Tata Motors. Tata Motors company countrywide is there. Just imagine countrywide Tata Motors company is there. They do manufacture, they do supply to sell the cars, correct? I will directly go to the Tata Motors manufacturing company and ask them I want to purchase a car. Please initiate my transaction processing for car sales. Will they be initializing that? Are they going to do it? They don't do it.
No.
I tell you, we are not responsible or authorized for it. Please go into your state and check within your state. State means say another sub-region. Country will have n number of states. Okay. Now, so they are doing something, but they don't have their authorization of initializing sales transactions. They are abstract or concrete? Abstract. Countrywide means higher level or lower level? Higher level. Coming to the next level, state-wise, let's talk about it like a distributor. Let's talk about it like a distributor. I went to a distributor who is, I mean, like, what is that? Taking the cars, purchasing the cars from Tata Motors, and I went to them directly in the state level and asked them, I want to purchase a car. Can you initialize my sales transaction? They said, no, we don't have that authorization. You go to your city, there is an outlet. Go to outlet, they will help you. Okay. Now at the at the state level, whatever the distribution is there, they are also not responsible. They are doing some functional processing, but they are not responsible for sales. So they are going to be abstract level. These two are higher second level also abstract. Now I went to city. I find a this one outlet where they are displaying all cars and all. Okay, in the outlet. Now I went to them. I'm asking them. I want to purchase a car. Can you initialize a sales transaction for me? They said, okay, we are ready. We are authorized to do it in your city. They are going to initialize the transaction of sales, process it, and then deliver the car to me. So now this is a very bottom level where they are authorized to sell the cars. You directly go to Tata Motors. Are they going to sell the car? but they are doing something, manufacturing, producing everything. You go to directly distributor, are they going to sell you the product? No, you have to go to bottom level, whatever. Usually the higher levels will do some functional processing, supply those functional processings to below level. That's what you need to understand. Those are abstract. Usually I'm talking about those are abstract levels. The place where transaction getting initiated bottom is concrete levels. Everyone clear with this? So what did we discuss overall today? What is inheritance concept in general? I did not tell you anything types of inheritance and all. That is not required now. When we go into PEGA, I'll explain. Inheritance, what is its purpose to have inheritance in technology? Okay. And class and types of classes, two types, and what is the purpose to have each type, two different types of classes in technology. Everyone clear? And I have given you necessary examples. I have told you one thumb rule. Transaction initiation place, all those are concrete, and the above levels usually are abstract. Okay, understand? Everyone clear? Online, everyone clear so far? Any questions, any doubts? See,
Shall I
I
ask
have
one thing?
not simply taken almost 45 minutes time to explain this. These are the concepts which you really don't understand in the real business development. You feel like now you understand everything, but in reality, when you read the requirement, you have to struggle a lot to know which type of class to create, in which level to create and all. So if you don't want to get that struggle, you need to clearly understand the business. That's why I'm always giving you business examples. So when you are learning technology, the highest priority of understanding you have to give it to the business. When you understand the business clearly in detail, then learning technology and applying it in the real world business is very easy. But 99.99% of the people, they learn technology as technology like this. Inheritance is acquiring properties from parent class to child class, acquiring properties from parent class to child class. Whenever we ask the question, they will respond. When I ask why inheritance, why do we need inheritance in technology, they won't respond, because they never looked at inheritance in the business. They are learning just as a reading a statement and sentence and writing it in the exams and responding in interview. This is not the way to learn. The way of learning is always anything you learn technically, it should be there in front of your eyes in your real world happening somewhere. The same you have to apply it in using the technology. Okay, now what is the question that someone was trying to ask?
Hi. Yeah, this is like a small question.
Go ahead.
As we discussed, like it is like concrete class and abstract class. Say, for example, verification is abstract class and other department are concrete class. The verification department also can be sometime initiate, right?
What
Say,
do
for
they
example, if
initiate?
for initiating for verification, that that can be from
See,
verification department only, right?
hold on. If you want verification also to be processed as one separate transaction, for example,
Yes.
as per him, sub transaction. If you consider it as a sub transaction for a main transaction, then verification also can be concrete. That's why I told you, usually higher levels are abstract. I did not say always higher levels are abstract, correct? So if you consider verification as a sub transaction, business is saying whole transaction one ID we need, we should have some sub transactions. Each sub transactions have separate ID, both are connected. Then the sub transaction verification also will become concrete in that case. You want the
So
design, then you go for it. Otherwise, don't go for it.
so we can initiate from abstract also then, or we have to create one more
That is not
concrete for
abstract.
that
If you
verification.
wanted to initiate verification as a sub transaction, then verification you create as a concrete
One
instead of
more,
abstract.
one more class we have to create. Is it?
Not one more. The same
Okay.
verification you create it as a concrete, because you're expecting it to be having one sub transaction. Okay. If it is
Okay.
concrete, then diagram will get reversed.
Okay.
Understand what do you mean by diagram is going to get reversed? verification will come bottom to banking, not to the above banking.
By diagram wise I understand, but my question is like whether that abstract class can also initiate at some reason, some point.
Abstract class cannot initiate, sir.
Any
If
any
it is
any any
initiating, it
no
is said
any
to be
example
concrete
you
only.
told, right? Any example you told, like say for example CEO or even parents,
See,
grandparents, like that, they can also
hold on. I
initiate, right?
understand your
Sometimes.
point. If
Yeah.
it is the case that it has to initiate, it must be concrete. It cannot be abstract. If you label it as abstract, it is going to lose the ability to initialize. There won't be any ability at all. Okay, it cannot. You got it? If it is initiating, it must be concrete. It cannot. Being abstract, you can say sometimes you initiate, sometimes you don't initiate. You cannot say that. That is not
Say,
possible. Being
okay, in
abstract,
case,
it cannot.
in that case, if I want verification also to be initiated, but I want all other classes like loan department and other department should come under verification, but I want verification also to be initiating. So how it can
Yes.
do?
Yes, that's what
How?
I was telling. If you want verification also to be initiating as a subtransaction, the verification should be labeled as concrete, and this diagram will get reversed. Verification will come down banking, come down loans, come down insurance. So transaction will proceed this way, bottom direction. Okay, clear? Make
No,
sense?
if no, if I am putting one more round above this in verification. So verification from say for example that is like verification one, and this is like verification as initiative, and all other three comes under verification. Is that possible?
Verification 1,
No, as
verification
per
2, you
this
said.
diagram, as
Hmm.
per this diagram, I am very clear. So verification class we can initiate everything. I'm sorry, we have to inherit the verification property or to all other departments. That is fine. But I want verification also to initiate. So I don't want a diagram to be reversed. Actually, I don't want these things to come under
Okay.
other sector. It should be like this
Okay.
only. Can we add one more class as main class above, or how it will work?
Above verification, you are saying? Above
Yeah, yes.
verification.
Yes.
You can add. You can add one more class above this verification. He's saying verification 1 or something. That is possible. Take from there and here you initiate a transaction. At the normal verification, that is a sub transaction. That is going to be sub transaction, which will get processed, supply the data to main transaction. That is
In that.
possible.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It is
Thank
possible.
you.
1 second.
Yeah.
Someone was asking a question. Is it mandatory that we must have an abstract class, concrete class every time? See, in a business, it is mandatory that the business application should have a concrete class. It must have. Without concrete class, is it possible to initialize business transaction? It is not possible. But practically speaking, there is no need of abstract class. No need to have. I mean, to say like, without an abstract class, only with concrete class can an application can exist to process. Okay, without an abstract class, only with concrete class an application can exist to do the business processing. It is possible. Abstract class is not mandatory. Clear?
Yeah,
Whoever
clear.
has
Then,
asked this
then,
question.
then I think verification is no need to be concrete class. That is also one abstract class. These all these three are inherited from that another abstract class. Sorry, another.
Hold on.
Sorry.
When we say verification here is abstract, I told you by an example. End of the day, how you design your business is in your hands. Okay, as per the design of your business, you need to decide to choose it as an abstract or concrete. If you're designing like this, I don't want any sub transaction for verification. I just want it to utilize. That's it. Then that is going to be abstract. You want verification to be a sub transaction, then you have to make it as a concrete. You have to make it as a concrete.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. I got it.
Verification becomes a concrete when in case if verification is initializing any sub transaction. Can verification be a main transaction in business? Generally think about it. It can never be, right? That means it is a sub transaction, obviously. So whenever you want to initiate verification, plus you make it as a transaction, going to be a sub transaction, obviously. That needs to be a concrete class. You don't want any sub transaction. You want processing to be done by utilizing. Then that is going to be abstract. It is very simple. A class is a class, whatever it is. If you want transaction to be initiated, that is going to be concrete, else that is going to be abstract. That's it. Make sense? Okay, so it is 10 o'clock. See, the discussion what we had today, I have more focused on how you need to think about while learning something. Instead of simply explaining you, my intention about explaining this way is, you also have to think about always why we need it, why we need it, why we need it. It's not simply what is inheritance, what is class, what are the types of class. Why do we need two different types of class? That question you have to pose to yourself. And why do we need inheritance in technology? Okay, like this, you always have to think about why do we need it. Then only you will get proper answer. Then only you will be able to properly learn the technology to its best. That's why I have taken almost 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Otherwise, just to tell you what is, I would have done it in 15 minutes overall. Okay, so these concepts are really needed for every one of you at the time while you are going to analyze your business requirement and decide where to create, at the higher level or at the below level. Higher level or what type of class you wanted to create. All that to decide, these concepts are very much needed. Okay,
Sir, I have a
so I
small
think,
doubt.
yes, go
Harsha,
ahead.
As known, we can inherit from the abstract classes. The concrete classes can
Did
inherit
I
from the
say you
abstract
cannot
classes,
inherit
right?
from concrete class to concrete class? Did we discuss that?
No,
Inheritance is
I was actually asking
hold on.
two
Inheritance is
classes.
between two classes.
Yeah,
That's it. That may be any class. That may
that
be
may
any
be any
class.
class. Like we
Concrete to
can
abstract, abstract to
inherit
concrete,
from
concrete to
abstract to
concrete,
abstract.
abstract to abstract. Yes, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying. Concrete to concrete, abstract to abstract, abstract to concrete, concrete to abstract. Inheritance did not say you can inherit only from this to this. Inheritance is inheriting from class to another class. That's it. Whatever the type of class can be. Got it?
yes, sir. I got it.
Some other male person was trying to ask a question few minutes back
yeah,
along with.
yeah, yeah, Harsha, it's me.
Yes.
My question is related to yesterday's class. So
Go ahead.
while creating framework and implementation application on top of PEGA platform, so what is the organization name? It should be same or it should be different, or it's up to
PEGA
us to
platform
give.
organization name will not be shared to our frameworks. Our framework, our implementation will have same organization. That's the way we designed. PEGA platform will have base class, top level. We'll come to the classes later.
Harsha, I have a doubt regarding yesterday's class. Can we create an
I
implementation
didn't clear.
application on another implementation application? Not on framework. Is it
Hey,
possible
you
like
call me by
implementation
my
on
name. Don't call me anytime, sir. Okay. Always, every one of you, you call me by my name, Harsha. Whether you are a fresher, whether you are elder to me, younger to me, whatever you are, whoever you always call me by my name, Harsha. Don't call me using sir. Okay. Be professional. In a professional environment, we call anyone by their name, even if they are CEO. Okay. That professional experience you have to get it now. Always you call me by my name. Okay. Yeah, go ahead now. I'm sorry to disturb you in between. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Harsha. Yeah, my doubt is like regarding yesterday's class. Can we create and implement an implementation application on another implementation application, not on framework?
See,
Is it
will there be
possible?
any such need of creating one implementation? Okay, imagine implementation one is created on implementation two. Implementation two, obviously you label it as framework only, right? Why you are creating one on top of another, making it the other one as a framework, correct? If you create one on top of another, obviously bottom one will be framework. Why implementation will be on top of another implementation? No. That's not the right way of designing. See, remember one thing, technology never insists you something. Technology is a free form existence. The way how it is there in the reality, same way you need to take the technology into consideration. Technology never insists you on something. Technology is going to exist in a free form. Implementation, I create one more implementation, that's a wrong way of design for a real business, correct? Generally I'm talking about. Okay, so you need to think about the real world always. That is most important. Okay. Yes, I am a teacher, no problem. Though I am a teacher, always you call me by my name. I am happy if you call me by my name. Can we create multiple implementations on a framework? Yes, you can create multiple implementations on a framework parallelly. Right? Framework 1, beside that framework 2, beside that framework 3, beside that framework 4, n number of frameworks on a implementations on a framework. Can I create framework on top of another framework? Yes. PEGA framework, our business framework 1, business framework 2, you can create like this. But implementation on top of another doesn't make sense. Implementation should come parallel. Okay, fine. We can wind up for today. We will continue on Monday. Today is Friday in India. People from other countries, please, this is Friday. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, there is no session. And Monday will be the session. And all of you, only those who are finished their paying fees payments will be allowed from Monday. I believe we have given enough time for everyone. Okay, you can wind up for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.